guys, welcome to SFeatley F1, and we're live this evening, giving you a quick preview to round 12 of the FIA Formula One World Championship in 2022. It is the French Grand Prix at Circuit Paul Ricard, the home of Grand Prix racing, as they say. But Formula One Grand Prix racing obviously been at the home at Silverstone. But a lot of people rating Mercedes this week. Why not? It's been a stronghold of Mercedes for a number of years. Okay, last year Max Verstappen won last year's Grand Prix. They had a lot more of a, let's put it, I think they had a better car advantage last year. But mainly it's been a stronghold for Mercedes. It's been a very big stronghold. It's going to be a smooth track surface, which is going to suit Mercedes' car because of the porpoising problem that it constantly has. You're also going to get the problem with, so you've had that's the porpoising problem sorted. Tyre degradation, we've known that Mercedes is so much better tyre degradation than the Ferrari, for example. We saw it in Silverstone. Look how long Mercedes ran Hamilton on that medium tyre. So a lot of people fancying Mercedes' chances. Like some pundits even thinking they could possibly even win the Grand Prix. Now, I'm not sure about that, I must say, because they're still behind Ferrari and Red Bull. And if you saw in Austria, okay, it's not one of the strongest circuits Austria there has been, but Mercedes is still just lacking that little bit of pace from the Mercedes car. It doesn't look like they can't. It doesn't look like anything they can't achieve, but it is something they're lacking. And of course, as long as you're lacking that pace and you're not in the title fight, people will start asking, do you bother keep investing money into this car, knowing you've got to save money for the next season, which Mercedes have to do. Mercedes have to also think about next season. How much do they want to spend on this season, knowing that they're not going to get the car that they need to challenge for the championship. The championship looks too far gone by this point. If you're thinking about it, it's going to take a miracle of races. There's still a lot of races to do. I've got to grant you that. But there's still a long, long way to go. But it's still looking very far in terms of the gaps in the championship to be able to recover and actually win a 9th consecutive world drivers title. I mean, if Mercedes do that, that's incredible. But by the way, I don't think they will. I think finally the rules would have stopped them, like the rule changes did for Ferrari in 2005. These eras, the reason they changed the formula is to stop these eras dominating the sport, because otherwise people will get bored. You know, it is an entertainment business in the end. But for a sporting sense, and also for a sporting sense, people wanted to see closer racing, and this is the way they've done it. So obviously it's going to be a major shake-up, and Mercedes obviously have been left behind in this. But it doesn't mean that they can't win a Grand Prix this weekend. It doesn't mean they can't win a Grand Prix this season. I still think they will. I still think Lewis Hamilton will win a Grand Prix. He has won every single He has won in every single season he's competed since 2007, since the start of his career. Right? Which is an unbelievable record. No one has that record. Not even Schumacher has that record. Right? It took him a year. It took his first Grand Prix in Barcelona. It took Schumacher his first win in Belgium. Was his first win in Belgium in '92 was a year after he first competed in Spa in 1991. So not even Schumacher has been able to win on every single season he's competed in. Hamilton has, and I still feel he would be able to carry that on. Whether they do it this weekend, I'm not sure. You've got the back straights, for example. Red Bull seem to be faster in a straight line. The Mercedes engine is not as it used to be. They've lost the advantage they've had for so long, which is the pace and reliability. They've got the reliability. Out all the time. They've never had a problem with reliability, but it's pace. It's just not quite as strong, which makes you wonder what they've been doing. Whereas Ferrari, for instance, they've got the power and they've got the pace in that engine, but they keep having problems with their reliability. Now, I'll move on to Ferrari because Ferrari need to carry this on. They need to keep winning races and reeling Max Verstappen in. Because Max Verstappen's still thinking and playing the long game, knowing that he's so far ahead in the championship. Plus, he knows how vulnerable those Ferrari cars are. Every time we go out on the circuit, every time we have a Grand Prix, those Ferraris are having a problem. Carlos Sainz had a problem in Austria, same as he did Leclerc had damage in Silverstone, yet it was still faster than Sainz. I think the Spanish Grand Prix, double retirement. You had numerous other bad luck for Ferrari. Let me just get their results on F1.com so far. Make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Our writers shared their redefining memories of Lewis Hamilton ahead of the 7-time world champion's 300th Grand Prix. This is 300th Grand Prix this weekend as well. That's the thing. I would love it. I would so love it. So love it. If, let me put it this way. I would so love it if he won it this weekend. If he managed to win the Grand Prix this weekend on his 300th Grand Prix, I would be ecstatic. Really, really ecstatic. Right, because he deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. He deserves to crown his 300th Grand Prix at that. Just trying to look at the article here. So let's have a look at what people say. Rosanna Tenen, right, the TV presenter for F1, ahead of the 20. Let's give it a step. Ahead of the 2017 Grand Prix. This reminds me a lot. 2017 British Grand Prix. Hamilton was getting slated for not turning up at the F1 event in London, saying he wanted to prepare for the race in his own way. And everyone said he was ignoring his fans. Right? Why would he choose to holiday, you know what I mean, with friends and stuff like that? But in his title battle with Sebastian Vettel, he did one thing in that British Grand Prix. Took the lead and absolutely dominated. And I mean dominated. Right? And what did he do at the end of the race? Went to his fans, crowd surfing, signing autographs and everything. And all those fans that were criticising him were then praising him. Funny that, isn't it? Like, I'm telling you now, this Hamilton will get so much more appreciation once he's retired. But whilst he's in the sport, no one's going to give him credit. A lot of people won't give him credit. And we all know why. Let's put it that way. I mean, when you've got like Red Bull mechanics sharing messages of what they're sending as messages about Lewis Hamilton over a Grand Prix racing incident, speaks volumes when the FIA decide not to investigate the team or even threaten to not even threaten to chuck the team out of the sport for having such views or having such employees in their employment. It's shocking that the FIA don't do anything about that. But it's Red Bull. It's Red Bull. It's Max Verstappen. Don't want to spoil the golden boy, the new one. The new golden boy. Do we? We don't want to ruin that. It used to be like with Ferrari and Schumacher. But here's the thing, people would say it like it's same with Hamilton. I disagree. Hamilton's never needed to lean the authorities to win a Grand Prix. He's never needed to lean the authorities to justify why he is a 7-time world champion. The reason he's a 7-time world champion is because of what he's been able to produce on the circuit. Simple as that. And if you can't accept that, you really don't know what you're talking about. Simples. Okay? Simples. Anyway. Right, I'm rambling on a little bit, but Circuit Paul Ricard, let's have a look at it. It's not one of my favourite circuits. I've played it on the game. It's not one of my favourites. That's why in the previous game where you could have substituted the Chinese Grand Prix and I'd rather substituted it in. It weren't one of my favourites at all. You don't really have to look after the tyres all the time. The tyre degradation is high. And because of this sector 3, this double apex right-hander, then this double apex left-hander, then another one long left-hander, and then a sharp right-hander back onto the straight, where you've got 2 DRS zones, the pit straight and sector 2. You're more likely going to get an overtaking manoeuvre down sector 2, where you've got a chicane, which again, chicane left, right, left, more tyre degradation down there, and then you're having to be careful on the power on the way out of turn 6 because you're turning right and then going straight left again, and then a little kink to 7 onto the Michel straight or the back straight, where you'll most likely find most overtaking manoeuvres into the chicane in the middle of that straight. So yeah, I think yeah. How do I put this? I do feel that I'm not gonna, like I said earlier, I'm not gonna rate off Mercedes' chances due to the history of this circuit. But
oh, for fuck's sake, you don't know.
I'm not gonna sit there and say that they're not gonna definitely not win this Grand Prix. It depends on practice. What happens on practice? Like, we'll see how the pace is as we go into the session. The weather seems to be clear. The heat wave that's going on here. Like, if there's a heat wave in this country, and I'm sure in the south of France there's going to be a frigging heat wave there. Like, I mean, that's where most of the heat is coming from. So the, but yeah, so like as it was back it built. So yeah, back. So obviously back built in nice. Back in like the beginning of his first race was in 1971, 53 laps, 5.842 kilometers would have race distance of 309 kilometers. The fastest lap was a 132. Not expecting that to be broken in this one. So, but yeah, it's like I said, I'm expecting hopefully a three-way battle. It's what we want. We want to see Mercedes finally back up there with Red Bull and Ferrari, so it makes it a three-way battle. Because if we have a three-way battle for the championship, right, or Mercedes can then build their car for next year. So next year when they start off, they've got a three-way title race. That's all we want to see. We want to see that straight away because it adds more drama, it adds more tension, it adds everything to the sport. Having more than just like two drivers go at it. Like all of a sudden it focuses about three teams, which is six drivers, all with an equal shot of trying to win the championship. Mercedes have quite made it clear. Like Russell has just as much as equal right to try. They've made it clear Russell will get an equal right to challenge for a championship, same as Hamilton. Hamilton's quite happy with that. He's already said that. Like so, this myth that Hamilton won't let George like they won't let George race Hamilton. That's bullshit. So if they can build a car and work this car as like a prototype for next year, because the rules ain't changing not so much this year, next year, because obviously it's a brand new formula. Trust me, oh trust me. We'll have a three-way battle between Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes. God knows who will win. I'm hoping it'll be Hamilton, hopefully, because that'll be the end of his contract, and maybe people will hopefully then he'll call it quits. Because don't forget also at the end of that contract next season, Toto Wolff is as well from Mercedes. I heard because at the moment I don't think there's any deal that any sign that Toto Wolff's going to be staying further on afterwards. So that's also another reason why they're thinking Hamilton will leave then. That's why people are still thinking Hamilton will leave then. But anyway, I'm going to quickly give my driver predictions. I wanted to carry on with news, but I'll do that in the news show because it is late. I'm tired as well because I've had a busy day at the hospital. I've got other stuff to do as well. I've got packing to do as well. Heading down to Portsmouth and that. So that's why the preview's been done now, not Friday. So, but Saturday we will be doing qualifying, watch along, and Sunday we'll be doing the race watch along. Qualifying. I want to see a three-way battle. I think Leclerc will get first. I think he'll pip it. Hamilton will get second. Right, I think I mentioned this in a tweet actually. I think it did. In one of my tweets on SFeatley F1. Let me have a look. Yeah, so pole position Charles Leclerc. Second will be Lewis Hamilton. Third will be Sergio Perez. 4th, George Russell. That's actually the top 4 finishers. Pole position would be Charles Leclerc. I'd say qualifying would be Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Perez. Well, no. Charles Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez, Russell, Sainz. That's how I see the top 6. Something like that. With Charles Leclerc winning, Lewis Hamilton 2nd, Sergio Perez 3rd, George Russell 4th, Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz to retire from the race. Driver of the day, or weekend, as we call on our review show, I'm going to go Esteban Ocon. I feel he's going to have a good race this weekend. Our French driver in a French car, right? It's got it written in the stars, and he's on form in a minute. He's on form compared to his teammate. So, yeah, I feel he's going to have another good weekend here. So I'm going to give him. I'm going to predict him as driver of the weekend. So, but yeah, if you haven't left your comments or who you think is going to get polled, leave it in the comments below so I can get back to him and reply to him, because every comment does mean a lot to us. So please, anyway, we're going to leave it there because, like I said, I've got to get on with other things as well. So make sure you hit the like button, you hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. We're back Saturday to do the qualifying watch-along, race watch-along Sunday, review on Sunday as well. But until then, stay safe.